It's your girl Dee Dee with another episode of Mental Health and Motherhood, okay? So yesterday was my aunt's birthday and I reached out to her just for the simple fact I really felt bad and I was feeling guilty about how I responded about 3-4 years ago about my dad passing because my dad really wasn't in my life. I really didn't know too much about my dad besides that he wore Kango hats and he liked to drink the bull beer, and then he smoked cigarettes. And he was tall, and he had a deep voice, and my daddy had a nice voice. That was about all I could tell anybody about my daddy because he was really never there. I never spent that much time with my daddy. He never really had a big impact on my life, and he really didn't influence or raise me in any type of way. And even as I got older and I tried to build a relationship with him, he was still stuck on me as being his little girl. So it was hard for me to reconnect with my father because he didn't want to let go of the past to build our future. And that's okay for him to have been stuck in that moment of time because I guess that was the happiest moments that he remembered with me. And that's okay. Like my daddy barely knew that I had 6 kids. He couldn't probably tell you none of my kids' name or anything. And that goes for his sisters and his mother as well. So I reached out to my auntie the other day on her birthday just to say happy birthday and to see how she was doing and to even apologize because I've been trying to go on this new journey of self-healing, having empathy, sympathy, and empathy for people and working on having more of an emotional intelligent state of mind and being aware of how what I can say can affect the next person and how it affects them and what it may cause them to feel. So I've been trying to take this in consideration, even though I've been in therapy for years. I haven't been in therapy in 2 years and I've been in therapy for like 4 years. And I'm really just now putting it into practice because I want to heal. I want to change. I want to do better. I want to be forgiven. And I want to be able to trust people. So I've been trying to reach out to people that I've probably cut off or just slowly stopped talking to. So I reached out to my aunt and tried to talk to her yesterday, but I guess she just don't want to be bothered with me, which is understandable because I didn't look at what I said to her, which is, Auntie, you didn't have to call me. You could have texted and told me that. And I know that could have hurted her so deeply because he was an important person to her. That's her brother. You see what I'm saying? They grew up together. They had the same mama, the same daddy. They was raised in the same house with the same morals and principles. So before I opened my mouth and I made that statement, Auntie, you could have texted me that my daddy had passed. And even though that my daddy wasn't the person of significance in my life or that I didn't have that strong love for him, I still should have taken in consideration of how she felt about her brother. The memory she had with her brother, good or bad, was her brother at that time, and the way I responded. And I see now I responded out of hate, hurt, and resentment, not just for my daddy, but for his sisters and for his mother, because at no point in time did I actually feel like them people really cared about us. Because if you coming from Florida and you're going to Ohio to see your other grandchildren, y'all have done it several times. Y'all not one time decided to stop by here to say hey to us or anything, but you could go out your way to see these other people just because y'all didn't like my mama. And if you don't like my mama, that's cool, but what does that have to do with us? We are still your blood. We are still your family. And that's why I'm so appreciative that I had my grandma Emma Jean because she was there. That was the only grandma I really knew, the only grandma to me that I really had, because the things my daddy and mama said to me, baby, my grandma would have never said that to me, ever. And the fact that my auntie Pat came one year and I had this Buick, it was busted, it was ragged, it was everything. It had no heat, it had no air. The transmission was slipping and everything. And my auntie came down here and she rode in the car with me. She took us out to eat or whatever. We chit chat, we hung out. It was nice to see my aunt and hang out with her because I hadn't seen her in years. So after we did all of this and the next year she came down here, I was like, darn, auntie, you ain't tell me what D, I know your car. I'm like, auntie. So that mean that you couldn't have called to see if my situation had changed enough to say, hey, D, Kiki, I'm down here in Georgia. I just want to know what you had going on, or blase, blase. I can come meet you, or you can pull up on me if your car situation has improved. You didn't ask none of that. And by the time she came back up here, I had got a 2000 Chevy Ventura. And so I had another vehicle. I had a van that had working AC, the heat worked, it had 8 seats in it and everything. So we could have all been comfortable. And when my aunt made that statement to me, in my head, it was like, bro, I see how you think of me. And I can see how she think of me as that, because you got to look at her other nieces that she has and the circumstances and the situations they've been in. But don't compare me to them, because you don't know me. You really don't know who I am as a person. You don't know how my mama raised me. You don't know what she has instilled and taught me. So for you to prejudge and have this preconception that I was not going to evolve and become in a better situation, that just let me see then that you didn't think too much of me then, and you don't think of me too much now. And I do realize now that even though I'm reaching out to these people, it's just for closure, to explain to them that y'all didn't even understand what I was going through. And I was going through so much abuse inside that house, and y'all could have saved me. But I'm glad they didn't save me, because the way they would have treated me, I probably would have came out worse. So I'm glad I have gone and grown and taken the time to figure out who I am, why I am this way, and taking the steps to heal and change my whole perspective, my way of thinking, and being more aware of my feelings, and being able to have more self-control over my emotions, so that I can have I can be a better example for my children, so they can have a better mother, so they can also have a friend, somebody that's compassionate, somebody they can come and talk to, somebody that they don't have to hide from. And I am grateful for every traumatic situation that I have gone through as a child, because it has shown me so much grace, mercy, and how to be humble and forgiveness. It has taught me so much about being a mother. It has shown me what it means to be a mother. And it has shown me so much in life. And I'm so grateful for everything I've been through, and all the people that have been here, all the people that have left me, and everything to still be standing, even though I suffer from PTSD, ODD, ADHD, and they say I'm a little schizophrenic sometimes, but I don't know about that. By manic, and then it ain't even manic bipolar depression. Them folks just say I'm bipolar. So I'm like, wait a minute. So you telling me I'm bipolar, meaning I have mood swings, but it's not a manic episode thing. Like, so I'm just straight up crazy, right? But it helped me realize, like, I can make it through anything in life. Anything that life has to throw at me, I will be able to overcome it. And I appreciate that. And if it wasn't for my mama raising me how she raised me, I probably would never been able to raise 6 amazing kids. They are amazing. Just keep watching and you will see how amazing my children are, and how much they love each other, and how loved they are just by one person.